Good afternoon, Dustin Grove here, and look who's back.
Yes, happy to be here. I'm Felicia Lawrence. Thank you for joining us for 13 News at 4. Lots to get to this Monday, but here's a question. Has the American dream turned into a nightmare?
It now costs $1 million or more for a starter home in more than 240 cities across the country. So we're going to show you that and a snapshot of starter home prices here in central Indiana. Thankfully, we're nowhere near $1 million, but it is more challenging than it used to be to buy that first home. So we're going to tell you why and what you can do to make sure you're in a good position to make that offer that's still ahead. But we do begin today with that difficult story here in Indianapolis. This is 5-year-old Kinsley Welty. Prosecutors say her own mother starved her to death. It is a case we have been following for more than 2 years.
And today, Kinsley's mom went on trial. Prosecutors want Tony McClure to spend the rest of her life in prison without any chance of parole. Rich Nye was in the courtroom for opening statements.
Tony McClure called 911 on April 9, 2024, saying her daughter, Kinsley Welty, was not breathing. First responders found the 5-year-old in this trailer just skin and bones, unresponsive. Kinsley weighed just 21 pounds when she died.
She was killed by the systematic, prolonged, and fatal abuse at the hands of her mother, the defendant. She was subjected to deliberate starvation, to deliberate confinement, to physical abuse, to psychological abuse.
McClure's boyfriend, Brian Smith, and her mother, Tammy Halsey, have both accepted plea agreements for neglect resulting in death with 20-year prison sentences. They are expected to testify against McClure.
She is a terrible mother, but she is not guilty of intentional murder.
The defense argues what McClure did to Kinsley does not meet the legal definition of murder. This trial is expected to last up to 2 weeks. Our camera is not allowed back in the courtroom until closing arguments. This case brought about policy changes in the way DCS workers check on children. And Kinsley's father's family is suing DCS over failing to protect her. In Indianapolis, Rich Nye, 13 News.
Also today, Metro Police announcing they have arrested a 24-year-old man for a deadly hit-and-run crash.
Jalen Donahue is charged with leaving the scene of an accident resulting in death and reckless homicide. Investigators say 58-year-old Ann Torres was hit while walking near 42nd and German Church Road back on May 10th. Police found her body a day later. Court documents say security video shows Donahue's Cadillac swerve around a Jeep, hit Torres, and then drive off. His initial court hearing is set for tomorrow morning.
A Lawrence police officer is under arrest accused of driving while intoxicated. Court docs say a Greenfield police officer pulled over 40-year-old Stuart Bishop. That officer says Bishop's dark-colored Chevy Silverado failed to use a turn signal, crossed multiple lanes of traffic, and did not stop before turning at a red light. The officer says when he pulled Bishop over, he could smell alcohol coming from him. He also says Bishop's eyes were red and glossy, and his speech was slurred. Bishop did admit to having a couple of drinks. Following his arrest, the Lawrence Police Department placed Bishop on administrative leave pending an investigation. We have more info, more court details from the documents right now on WTHR.com.
All right, let's talk about the weather now on this Monday afternoon. What a terrible day outside. My goodness. I'm sorry. Okay. I was trying to come up with a better way to describe it. But
it is colder than expected for the end of June.
Well, it's just been nasty. I mean, just kind of spitting rain all day.
Listen, I will take what we have outside right now over severe weather.
Oh, that's true. Yes,
100% of the time.
Yeah. So you had another busy night last night?
I was, yeah. We had a lot going on. I would love to say that's it for the severe weather. We can't say that right now. So we're going to settle things down for a little bit. Good. I want to give you an updated tornado tally for the year. 55 and climbing, by the way. We have 3 separate National Weather Service crews from the offices of Indianapolis, Louisville, and Paducah. Ongoing surveys. Already one confirmed, that one in Scott County. That's from the Louisville office. That was with yesterday's event. We've got crews in Owen, Sullivan counties, Martin counties, and then southwest Indiana around Evansville. multiple tornadoes will likely be confirmed there. Now, right now we're on the cooler side of the system that brought us the active weather yesterday. And as Dustin and Felicia pointed out, yes, it is cloudy and it is cool, certainly. That happens sometimes when you go from the muggy, severe weather, and now we've got more of a northeast wind, and we've had this little batch of drizzle just kind of sitting over the metro area. Temperatures in the mid-60s compared to 24 hours ago, about 10 to 15 degrees cooler. And compared to where we should be for this time of year, almost 20 degrees below average. So yes, this is not typical here for mid to late June. 65 northeast wind, 15 to 20 miles per hour. Much brighter tomorrow, much warmer as a result as well. I'll have the rest of your 7-day here in a few minutes.
All right, thank you, Sean. We'll see you then. A story getting some attention right now on the east side. If you drive down 16th Street, you're likely to notice a big building in pretty bad shape.
Yeah, it's hard to miss it, and neighbors are actually very frustrated with this. Ella Rhodes has been in touch with these neighbors. She's been on top of this story for months. And Ella, the neighbors are saying that things are getting worse.
Yeah, I went back out there today and I saw a dead bird hanging from the awning of this building. The city also just opened a continuous vacancy case for the property. So just to give you a better idea of where this is, the building sits on the corner of 16th and Ritter with broken windows, holes in the wall, graffiti, parts of the ceiling missing, overgrown weeds. The poor conditions go on. The city says the building has been on their radar for a while and they've done inspections over the years, starting back in 2018, but having no luck getting in touch with the Ohio-based property owners. Ritter Avenue Free Methodist Church borders the abandoned property. Pastor Stephen Bales has watched the property deteriorate the last 12 years. He's seen crime take place as well at the abandoned building, and he says it spills onto the church's property.
We really want the owners just to step up to the plate and do what they're supposed to. Either clean it up or sell it to somebody so then somebody else can do something with it.
The property can collect up to $5,000 in fines a year for continuous vacancy. The first fine costs $500. The next inspection, is set for sometime in September. The city also says they cannot claim eminent domain on the site.
So this has been going on for 12 years?
Yeah, that's what he's been saying.
So what happens if the city never hears from the property owners?
Great question. I asked the same thing. So it gets pretty complicated, but the property is an ideal candidate for the continuous vacancy program, which it's now a part of after that recent inspection.
And can they demolish the property?
Another good question. I did ask that as well. It hasn't gotten that far just yet. But the building is very large, which the Department of Business and Neighborhood Services says to demolish a building of that size, it would cost around $1 million. And that's the exact budget that this department has within the city for a year. So it's a tricky situation.
For the city and also for those poor neighbors.
Right, because they're trying to help as much as they can, but they have to stay within their legal limits.
Yeah. Okay. Ella Rhodes reporting. Thank you so much.